cross stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was the choir with our national anthem. Now into Whackin' Time with the history of Veterans Day.
On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, World War I officially ended. On November 11th, the world comes together to honor veterans. Veterans Day was born on November 11th, 1919. It's known as Armistice Day in most countries except for the United States. In the US, most people just refer to it as Veterans Day because after World War II, the name was officially changed from Armistice Day to Veterans Day by Dwight D. Eisenhower. And now here are some ways you can celebrate Veterans Day. Number 1, donate to a charity organization that helps out veterans. Number 2, this one is more simple but goes a long way. During the moment of silence every day at school, make sure you really be quiet and pay your thanks to the ones who fought for your freedom. Number 3, volunteer at a veteran hospital or a veteran home. Number 4, if you know someone who once served, you could thank them and send them something to thank them for the service. Dear veterans, thank you.
Now into fine arts about the veterans' essays.
It's very important to honor our veterans because they serve and risk their lives every day to keep our country and families safe.
Here's some reasons why our staff and students think it's important to celebrate veterans.
Veterans are important to me because
they fight for our country and keep us safe.
Because they're very courageous.
Because they fought for our country and they fought for our freedoms.
They're brave and they risk their lives to fight for our country. They're mainly one of the reasons we're still alive. And
they sacrifice so much for our country
and help keep our nation safe.
Because they work so hard to give us everything that we have.
They fought for the flag that still waves today.
Now into trending, which is interviewing teachers who also served our country.
Hi guys, welcome to this Veterans Day broadcast brought to you by Trending.
Yeah, it's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time.
In this broadcast, we're going to be walking around Hudson Banks seeing if there's any veterans or kids' parents that are veterans.
My uncle and grandpa were in the Army, and my grandpa fought in the Vietnam War.
HB, this is Coach Sy here. So I never was actually in the service because I was in college at the time when Vietnam War was started, but I do have a pretty interesting story about my father. My father was in the Navy, and he was stationed in Miami over here in Florida, and he flew in airplanes. He wasn't a pilot, but he was the navigator in a pilot, meaning he would basically tell the pilot which way to go. Way before they had all these high-tech type of instruments we have now in planes. So he had to do mathematical calculations and things like that. So the story goes like this. He told us this one Christmas that he was here in Miami and they were supposed to fly a practice mission out a certain number of miles this way out into the Atlantic Ocean and then come back this way and then come back, making basically a triangle. Well, if you ask your science teacher or your history teacher, there's an area out there near the islands of Bermuda, which is called the Bermuda Triangle. So it's this area out here where a lot of really weird things have happened in the past, like airplanes have gone down unexpectedly without any kind of reason. Huge ships have sunk. So my father tells me that there on this flight going this way east, and they keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and because his instruments that he had available weren't telling him, hey, it's time to turn, go this way again. So he finally radios the pilot. He says, hey, if we don't turn around, we're heading that way into the Atlantic Ocean. If we don't turn around and head straight back to Miami, we're going to run out of gas if we try to complete this mission, and we're going to crash in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. And Coach Si may not be here today if that would have happened. So that's my story. Pretty strange, but true.
Okay. How did the Navy affect your family member?
So after he went to war, he had suffered from hearing loss from all like the loud noises, and he can't hear very well now.
I was Wyatt. My dad was in the Navy, and it impacted my life because I didn't know if he was going to come home or not.
So my grandfather, he was served in the Army in 1969 until 1973. He was in the Armored Division, and he served in Germany, and he didn't go to the Vietnam War, but he almost went to the Vietnam War.
All right. Hi, I'm Coach Wand, and I joined the Air Force in 2005. After 9/11 happened, I had a few years of finishing up college and stuff like that, and throughout that process, when I saw some of my friends going off to the military, it really made me want to serve my country. And so I joined the Air Force. I was a navigator, meaning I sat next to the pilot and flew planes. If the pilot ever got hurt or injured or something like that, I would have to take over. Otherwise, I was kind of the GPS, making sure we were on the right track and where we were going and stuff like that. I served for over 2 years, and then I got medically discharged because of a knee injury. Otherwise, I would probably still be in.
Thanks for watching this week's Veterans Day broadcast.
Make sure to say hi to your veterans in the hallway.
Bye, Bucks.
Now into sports, who has a presentation about athletes who are also veterans.
Hey Bucks, welcome to this week's broadcast. Today we'll be talking about athletes who are veterans.
First up, we are talking about Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson was the first African American person to play Major League Baseball.
He was drafted to the military in 1942 and never saw combat. His actions shed light on the issues of segregation in America in the 20th century.
The second person we'll be talking about is Yogi Berra.
Before Yogi started his famous baseball career with the Yankees, he served in the military.
He served in the U.S. Navy from 1933 to 1936.
He launched rockets at the German defenses in the invasion of D-Day.
Now into cooking, who's making some all-American treats.
Hey Bucks, welcome back to Just a Taste.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Annabella.
And this week we're doing a veterans cookie decorating competition.
Let's get started.
We're all in 6th grade, and apparently we're going to be decorating cookies. Okay, I'll just do a part.
It's for veterans.
I know, but it's going to be celebrating. Okay, how do I make a Veterans Day? Okay, here are my 3.